Hi everyone, my name is Xuma and I'm 25 years old. I come from Malaycam, South Africa, and these are 25 things about me. Actually 23 because I didn't learn how to count. So the first thing is that I got lost the first time I arrived to Malaycam without any money or food. But this girl came, Leah. She was very brave and reckless, and she gave me a place in her home, and it was like very cute. The second is that I lived in an illegal beer seller's house. Leah used to sell beer, and this was completely illegal for black people, and she did that with some friends that I will mention them later, but that was the point. I lived illegally. The third one is that Malaycam, the city in which I lived, was a complete mess. They threw parties almost every night, and there were dances and there was music, but there were also fights and murders, and it was kind of dangerous, but I wouldn't want it any other way. It was like home. The fourth one is that I fell in love with a girl named ELISA. ELISA was a teacher that lived with Leah, and I met her at her house, and I completely fell in love with her because she was beautiful and smart and many other things. It's too long to explain. The fifth one is that I got in a huge fight at Leah's house with Ladla. Ladla was a guy that lived with her, but then he got away because they had a dispute or something like that. And he was like with the idea that I stole his woman, and I didn't. So he came with two other guys and he cut my face, but then Leah and Johannes and I like beat him up. It was like very cool. One thing is that I got job very fast. Johannes, a friend of mine that also knew Leah, took me to the mine, the local mine that was in Johannesburg, and he presented me the red one, called like that because he was red-haired, and he was called Paddy Oshie. I impressed him, and then I got the job. I was in a huge sadness about ELISA because she rejected me. She wanted the white stuff, but then another girl came that Leah knew pretty well, that was called Macy. She was a very good person, and she took me to dance and made me happy, but I only had eyes for ELISA, so that couldn't happen. She was like in love with me, I think. Number 8 is that I moved out of Malaycam. I reached the job at the mines, but Malaycam was far away, so I had to move to a town nearer there, and I got an apartment with just one room, and that was practically it. The next thing is that I felt really sad when I left because I missed the parties and the dances and all these things, and especially my friends, because they were the first people that I met, and they were like very kind, and I was alone in Johannesburg. The next thing is that the red one invited me once to his house. Yeah, that was a thing that white people didn't used to do because they didn't get along with colored people. But I got along very well with him, so he invited me to dinner in his house with his wife Dee, and we had a very good time there. Number 11 is that Dee, the red one's wife, had a very different point of view from anyone else of colored people because she really thought that black people weren't any different at all with white ones. So she asked me why I couldn't get along with the red one if we had a so good relationship and we could be friends. But it was very strange to me, and I wasn't accustomed to that, so I just like a great just said goodbye just to cut it out already. The next thing is that I missed my town so much, Malaycam, that I got back once, and I just felt homesick, so I came back, and Leah received me in, and she started telling me about the issues in her business because someone was betraying her, and I also met again Macy and ELISA, and it was like pretty good. I think the word fuck is illegal in YouTube, but therefore I will say that I made love to ELISA because that night I was feeling like really down, but she took me to my room, and then things happened, and that's it. So farewell. The next thing is that after that night, Lisa was behaving really weird. I woke up and tried to hug her, but she didn't want to, and she told me that it was the devil inside her, that she wanted the white stuff, and I didn't have it because I was like colorblind, so I couldn't, and I felt really sad because of it. After that, the next thing is that Macy made me happy again. She took me to a friend's house in Hope Valley, and we had a really good time there. Like, we partied and we danced, and it was like a pretty cool. So I don't know, I for a moment forgot about ELISA and had a good time. A little advice: I am selling this. It's from a friend of mine, so any info. Yeah. Then the next thing is that Johannes revealed who had betrayed Leah, and this happened because he was like kind of drunk, and he told me that Ladla was behind all of that, and I just wanted to tell her because it was really needful, so I ended my shift and got straight there. And number 16 is that ELISA once tried to stay with me. Because I confessed my feelings for her and we talked, and she told me that she wanted to be my woman if I promised to stay with her when she was with her extreme trouble with the white things of the white man, and I just felt really happy because that was very cute. Do you want this car? I don't want it. Thank you. So the seventh thing is that once I started with the night shift, and it was like really hard in the mines because I saw a man spitting blood and I felt really perturbed because of that, and I also had to sleep less, and that was really hard for me. Have you heard the song Ace of Spades from Motorhead? This is not a spade, but
Ace of Spades.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, so the next one is that a murder was committed in Malay camp, and it was Ladla actually who was dead. He got stabbed in the back. We really never found out who was because a police officer came, he took Leah, and then she came back and we threw a party and we never saw him again. Okay, no, enough. None of this bullshit. Yeah, so number 19 is that I didn't even read it 19. I just broke it. Well, number 19 is that I helped Leah back on her feet because the night after Daddy died, we threw a party and she got excessively drunk, and then I gotta take her to Macy's room, and there she stayed, so I took her of her. Have you ever dreamed of one of these? Well, the number 20 is that I let ELISA down because after that funeral, we went home and she wanted me to stay, but I had to go to the mine, so that happened and I couldn't stay, and she was very sad. In chapter 13, I got very sad because ELISA left and forever. Ma Plank, when I woke up, she was just staring at me and she told me that ELISA took a train and will never come back. And I was really disappointed, but she told me that I couldn't make her stay anyway because she always wanted that desire of the white man stuff, and that was it. Yeah, so number 22 is that Macy tried to me happy for the third time. I was in my room sobbing when she came in, and she tried to lift me up. She said that her friend in Hope Valley was trying to get us there again, but I refused and I made her cry, and I just felt worse after that. It was a really sad day for me. Number 23 is that Leah also tried to lift me up, but in her specific way. She came like in a math tone and she told me that I was weak, and it was pathetic to see me in that state when I was sobbing in my room, but Then she eased her tone and she also tried to cry, but I knew that she was hiding her feelings. But she told me that there was nothing that I could do, so that's my story with ELISA and with Leah until now, until chapter 13 of my book. By the way, do you know this thing is Spanish and that also my name is pronounced Xuma instead of Xuma, but everybody just says Xuma because they can't pronounce the click. Yeah, well done. And those are 23 things about me. Hope you enjoyed it and see you soon.